When you look at the headlines that are out there about the storms and stuff like that, all around the United States, the bridges destroyed from the hurricane, the lives destroyed. Oh, look, Lifeline like details the devastation. We need so much help. Let me hear
Thank you
this.
for joining us because I think it's important for all of us to hear from somebody like you who's lived there your whole life. Maybe describe what it has been like for you in the last 48 hours, maybe 72 hours. And I can see on your face that it's hard to talk about, but let's do it together. Turn over the microphone to you.
Thank you. We've seen our friends and neighbors lose their homes. We've seen classrooms of children who have no longer have their homes. We are hunting for teachers. We have 23 teachers out of our list that we haven't been able to find. I've been a teacher in Black Mountain for 25 years. I've been a resident there for 48, and we've never experienced anything like this. We don't know. School is out indefinitely, and that was where many of our families received food, services like their therapy, their physical therapy, their speech therapy. It was their community. When we're talking about little children who have only experienced the pandemic and then had one.
Good morning. You can't sleep? It's understandable with all the energy in the air and all the devastation, because it is. It's absolutely devastating. If you're in the, let me get rid of you right now. Don't come on here and make fun of people, okay? Don't be doing what you're doing, because you're part of the problem, okay? People like you who have the desire to come on live streams and where are the tears and stuff like that, you're part of the problem that's plaguing the whole world. The lack of compassion, the insinuation, and all of it. Yeah, you think I got time for you? I'm not going to make time for you. I'm not. And, hello there, Vladimir. Hello, you can't go to sleep, y'all. I woke up and I was looking at some of the headlines. It truly does feel like the United States is under attack. There is a battle being waged against the United States deep into the country. These attacks are literally going deep inside the country and just destroying. It's unconventional warfare. That's truly what it feels like spiritually. Unconventional warfare using weather as a weapon. Whoever's doing it, whatever's doing it, the United States is under attack. Its goal is truly to cause misery and just widespread devastation, tear the families apart. And at a crucial time when elections are coming, I'm going to tell you right now, Donald Trump is going to be president. He's going to put Elon Musk in. And people can just get over themselves. They can just get over it. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Weather as a weapon. You think anybody's going to adhere to any treaties that they signed? No, they're not. And truth be known, there's enemies within the country and the enemies within each and every organization that truly does play a major role in the United States. They're embedded deep within. They're part of it too. Just destroying plans from long, long ago. But it's widespread. Yes, it is an attack, Sandy. It's widespread. Florida, the Gulf Coast is destroyed. Plus the shipping strikes, yeah. And we have somebody who said that they support it. They support it. and they're not going to stop it. Of course, you're not going to stop it. You're not. You're going to allow the devastation. If you were going to completely take over a country, you're going to do something like this: soft attacks. Soft attacks, but make it look like it's not a war tactic. Oh, this is war. It truly is war. I'm not going to say that it's not. It's war.
1 month of normalcy to their lives. And then now this, it's just devastating.
Jordan's sore nose let out a fiery sneeze.
Your in-laws are also unable to get out. Is that right?
No, my parents were at my in-laws in Charlotte, and we were able to coast down the mountain. There's no gas available, and we're picking up supplies here to take back.
Okay.
My parents, there's no road. My cousin lost her house, but they're there. They're feeding the fire department, and they're working together because, you know, a community is not buildings. A community's heart is in its people, and we're all working together. And
Yeah.
as you can see, the destruction is just overwhelming. That's my church kitchen. They fed almost 1,000 people yesterday. There's no water. There's no electricity. There's no gas. It's
Misty,
just.
let me let you catch your breath for just a second. I want to just mention a couple of things. So we have all the images. You've been seeing them. Steve Riley wrote in the Washington Post that in Black Mountain we've seen hurricanes, but never like this. You think you're ready for the big one. You watch and read, but you've been through hurricanes and tropical storms before. It can't be as bad as the forecasts say, but it can. Today, you're going to have a visit from the Commander-in-Chief.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get really worse. When Trump takes office, it's going to be an absolute mess. Total, even before he takes office. An absolute mess. Yeah, an absolute mess. No, it's just all over the place. It's just like it's not just like one type of an attack. It's all kinds of types of attacks that are happening. Look at this one right here. The one that's in the Atlantic. I don't know which way this will go. The category 3 in the Atlantic. What way is it going? Yeah. I believe Babylon is also spiritual embodiment across the whole world. I don't believe that the Bible is clearly written for the United States of America. I do not. It's the spirit of Babylon is what it is. It's like an ancient entity. But then how the Revelation is written, I could see where one would say that would be the United States when it says, fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a haunt for every unclean spirit and demons and stuff. When the rich people of the world see her destruction, was there ever a city like this great city? They'll wail. They'll wail. Time will tell. Time will tell about it. It will. Well, if it falls, listen, if Babylon is falling, you're inside Babylon. If you adhere to the scripture that Babylon is falling, America is Babylon, A bridegroom will never be heard. No, none of this stuff will ever be heard. It'll literally be brought to its knees, and it'll be no more. But you're stuck in it. You're stuck inside Babylon, and you ain't getting out. How about that? You're stuck inside Babylon when the destruction occurs. But this ain't that destruction. It isn't. That's not yet. The aliens. That's right. There are alien entities. Some people would say demons. Some people would say, yeah, the aliens are going to, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to do whatever they want to do. I'm stuck in the metaverse. Yeah, they're going to bring it into the real world, they said. I saw something on that last night. Geoengineering, yes. Geoengineering, geopolitical warfare. Really? Why does it have to be geo everything? Because it truly is. Yeah. 150. I'd like to know where this one is going. I don't know where it's going. And then you got the sun. You got the sun with its X flares, and it takes a shalom, king and queens. The sun with its X flares. I read that it would need like 3 powerful X flares in a row to. I read this long years ago to bring about a Carrington-like event, a grid down event, and we're pretty close to that too. Yeah. Let me do this. There's a lot of fallen angels on this earth. There is, if you was to look at it that way. It's not just the United States that is going through things, it's the whole world. And we're not hearing about the whole world. It seems like the news is more or less centered on the United States and Israel and the Iran. You're not hearing what's happening in all the other countries, how the lives of others are being impacted by what's going on in their country. But if you live in the United States, of course, the news is going to be centered on the news in the United States. Yeah. 2 wars, 2 moons. By the end of the year, the solar flares have been intense. Yeah, they have been intense. Extremely intense. There is, listen, I don't know all the people who are possessed by demons who are the most dangerous. All I know, there is a great big, vast amount of demonically possessed entities out there. And some of these entities, they ain't even got human bodies. That energy is all around the place. It's all around the place. It's dark, dark, dark energy. And you haven't seen nothing yet. And it comes in many different forms. Many forms, not just pure, demonic, hateful, whatever. Oh, it's all types of forms. And we're not going to get into that. And I'm not. There's widespread devastation. The United States looks like it's a war-torn zone, and it's going to get a lot worse in many different ways. And if you haven't prepared, I heard that you have 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks at most, before things truly are going to be gone off the shelf. And if you're that type of person who wants to wait to the last minute, you see what happens. When I went to the store with my mother yesterday, we went into the Sam's Club, and there was a whole lot of people, and all the paper towels that they had in that whole entire warehouse, they had already sold off the floor, and there was one pallet up on the top of their big long shelves, and as soon as they brought the pallet down, the people grabbed it. They said, well, you don't have to worry about moving it to the area. I didn't get no paper towels, but that's what's happening. All the paper products are disappearing. And as we were going out, the woman goes, I don't know why people are buying toilet paper. We don't get our toilet paper from China. You get you get your toilet paper domestically, but you know what? That toilet paper has to be transported. by freight, by semis, all of that. That's what they don't understand. Even though it may be produced here, it's produced in different parts of the country and it relies on transportation. And when people realize that the transportation lines are going to literally collapse, there's not going to be deliveries and stuff. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it came from China or not. There is the United States is being crippled, just like a lot of other countries. You got almost everything delivered. There's a demon in the chat. Who's the demon in the chat, Lisa, honey? You wanna talk about the demon in the chat? Um, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are labeled as demon, and they may not be a demon. They may not be. They may have a different way of expressing themselves, and they may not have very polite words to say at all. We're going to have to make our own toilet paper. Well, you're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to use a wash rag. Yeah. No. All you have to do is repent and ask Jesus into your heart. Shauna, if it was that simple and that would make the whole world a lot better, it would happen, but it's much greater than that. It truly is. You say, Gina, honey, how can it be much greater than Jesus? It's much greater than just someone saying that, because they truly may not mean it. It's not going to take away the devastation that's occurring. It may not stop what is going to come. You still have to go through it. It's like the people, they got thrown into the fire. They still walked in the fire. It didn't stop them. And then there was a fourth man walking in the fire. It's like a person who's done really bad things and then they repent. Well, there's consequences on this earth. You're not going to be spared the consequences of your actions the majority of the time. You're not. And I think that's what some people realize. You're not. And you're not going to be spared the turmoil just because you call yourself a Christian. Just because you say God is with me, you may not be spared the turmoil. You may not be spared your house getting destroyed, losing everything, losing your job, losing family members. But you'll be given the grace to make it through it. You'll be given the strength to make it through it. Will it be hard? It'll be extremely hard, and you may feel like giving up. It's not going to mean that you're going to be spared, but you'll be able to make it through it because you'll have a strength deep within inside here. And I'm not saying, don't accept Jesus in your heart, but that's not the only thing that's going to save you. It's not. You're not going to be spared. You think the people in the Old Testament, the people in the time, those biblical times were spared? You think the martyrs were spared? No. They became martyrs. They didn't care. That's the cold hard facts. Stoned Stephen to death. There's a great tribulation coming, and there's going to be a great persecution coming. And just because you accept Jesus in your heart doesn't mean you're going to be spared that persecution. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that you're going to be spared those hard times. It doesn't. You'll be given the strength. You'll be given like a peace that surpasses all understanding of this world. It's a peace that you cannot explain. You can have peace amidst the turmoil that you go through. Yeah, I don't want anyone in here. This is me personally speaking. I don't want you to be misled thinking that you're going to be spared the hardships, the hard times, and nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to have a perfect hedge of protection. None of your stuff. You're not going to lose nothing. Your family's not going to get hurt. I don't want anybody to think that's going to happen. If you look back in history, things like that do happen. You fall on hard times just like everybody else. He causes his rain to fall on the righteous and the unrighteous. The wicked get what the righteous deserve, and the righteous get what the wicked deserve. It's time and chance, like fish caught in a cruel net. You're going to have to go through it, but you'll have the strength. You'll have the strength to make it through. And you're going to have to lean on each other. You're going to have to lean on each other. You're going to be there for each other. I'm just telling you. There's people who may have a mindset, say, well, if I accept Jesus in my heart, if I got God, I'm going to be spared all of this. Nothing's going to touch me. Nothing's going to happen to me. That's kind of like testing God, truly. When you say nothing's going to happen to me, nothing's going to touch me. You see what happened to Job. You see what happened, that biblical account of Job. It happened suddenly. Everything was taken from him till he was sat there with scraping the sores on his skin. You say, Gina, that's just a story. He lost everything. All that he had, but then the latter half of his life was much better than the one in the front. It's like families. When you go, somebody gets sick in your family. Someone has a terminal illness in your family. And that's the last thing you want. But you're going to be there for them. You'll be able to make it through, even if they pass from this life to the next. You'll still have each other. You'll still have the strength. Like when your home gets destroyed, like these people, all they got is each other. When it boils down to it, all we have is each other. I mean, you have God on the inside, but it still doesn't stop the bad things from happening. Creates a buffer. It preserves your life somewhat. Somebody being negative in here. We have had enough of that going on. Jack, honey, you're gone. Yeah, see this Jack? Is that what y'all trying to talk? Because I wasn't looking at the comments. He's gone. Yeah. It's easy to... He's gone. He's gone. It's easy... You're in chronic pain. You are like Job. You have chronic pain. And God will help you. That's true. The pain may not go away. The pain may subside, but through it all, He'll be with you. He'll be with you and see you through it. You won't be left in the middle of it. That's the thing. If it comes into your life, He'll see you through it. You will not be stuck if you truly do. If you put your faith in God. I'll speak personally for myself. All the times I've put my faith in God and I've called out to Jesus, He's never failed me. Never, ever, ever, ever. Did it spare me from going through what I had to go through? No. But that's the thing. Did it spare me from going through it? No, I went through it and I came out better because of it. Did I lose something along the way? Well, yeah, a lot of us lose something along the way. A lot of people lose part of them that no longer serve them. You lose that too. Maybe you needed to be refined in the fire. Just think of if your life gets shattered, well, you get put back together better. You do. You become stronger. If you go through something devastating and you make it through it, I rest assured you're going to be a whole lot stronger. Some people, it's going to break them in two. And Some people may never recover, but that's not always the case. The majority of the times you're stronger for what you've been through in your life. And the people who make it through the storms, they may not realize how much strength that they have, but they're finding out. They're finding out with each passing day, you're stronger than you think. Yeah, your faith is tested every day. There's lessons in everything. There's lessons coming on here on this live stream. I get tested every day. Every day I come on here. Before I even come on here, before I push that button, cannot start the live stream. It's been doing it lately. Oh, cannot start the live stream. You don't want me to start the live stream. There is an energy out there and it's not going away. It's not. You're just going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to live with it. And it's like the wheat and the tares. You're going to grow up with it. Let them grow up together. You can't escape this world. Yeah. You found asking God for strength. I wholeheartedly agree with you. You ask for strength, you're going to get it because it's going to come from your heart. You're going to mean it. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with it. And in these trying times, we need all the strength that we can get. We do. You may say, well, some people got it better than others. That's outward. All you seeing is what you see with your eyes. You don't know what's going on in these people's lives. You do not have no idea because they don't walk around with the frown on their face. Well, they're smiling. They act like they got it all together. Well, that may be, they seem like they got it all together. Well, perceptions are just that. It's just a perception when the exact opposite may be true. They have their own struggles. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Welcome. Everybody's going through their own things right now. And it doesn't, just because they're not going through what you're going through, doesn't mean that they're not going through something terrible, because it may be something minor to you, but to them it's absolutely devastating. Hello, Carol, honey. It's something, I don't know the title of it, something about devastation. All around, people's lives are being destroyed and they're losing everything, and they're finding out when it comes down to it, all they have is each other. They got God, but they got each other to help them make it through. Even though the pain can be overwhelming for some and the hurt, they struggle, but they keep pressing on. You'll struggle, but you'll have the strength to keep pressing on, because you know that you've got to. There's only way to get through the struggle is to press through it. Things like this will humble a lot of people. It truly is. It's a humbling experience when you have anything unexpected, out of the ordinary, that's devastating. It's a humbling experience. You realize how fragile life is. You realize how fragile you are, and your friends and your family and your neighbors. You got to endure to the end. You truly do. I'm just going to say, just because you accept Jesus in your heart and God's going to take care of me, nothing's going to happen to me. You're not going to be spared going through certain things, just like everyone else. You're not going to be spared. It's going to be rough. It's going to be tough. But you'll have an anchor on the inside. You will. You'll have the strength inside here, a strength that you thought you never had. And you realize that it's going to take faith, a whole lot of faith, and a whole lot of doing on your behalf. You can't sit and expect God to just do everything for you while you sit there and don't put forth no effort. You can't expect that, because it don't work that way. You got to do your part too. You got to work toward it also. Yes, I did. I lost my stepdad, and I'm still there with my mother because she still struggles. So I make sure I spend time with my mom every week, and I'm there for her. It's like a lot of other people. You have things that you do in your life. Maybe lots of things. You may say, well, I feel like I'm stretched thin. Well, some people are stretched thin, and some people just they press through it. That's what they do. Because it's not all about me. Some people are all about themselves. Nobody else matters. It's all about them. They don't care about everybody else. Some people have this mentality, well, what do I care about that hurricane? It's not affecting me. What do I care about those people? It doesn't affect me. There are a lot of mindsets like that who have no empathy, no sympathy, no compassion, and it shows. They have compassion toward themselves and empathy toward themselves and sympathy for themselves. And I think that mindset might be growing amongst people. I really do. Yeah. You took care of both your parents till they pass away, and that's a very, very hard to do. It truly is, especially if you got a family, you got children, and you got a job. It's you'll be pressed. You'll be stretched to your limits. You'll bend, but you won't break. It didn't break, it made you stronger, and you wouldn't change a thing for taking care of your parents till the end. You wouldn't change it. If you had to do it over, you wouldn't change it because it made you into the person you are today. It does make you stronger. There's people who will not want to be put in that position of taking care of their parents. You say, I literally cannot do it. Well, we're having many households where people are having to live together, that multifamily households. And some people may not like it. They may say, well, they're on their own. They did it to themselves. They should have prepared. It's their own fault. There is that mindset that's out there too. And some people do it to themselves, and it is their own fault, and they're very ungrateful. But then there's others who are not in that boat, but then they'll get treated as if they are in that boat. 92, wow. We live in a self-absorbed world, and not everybody's like that, but there are some, and they don't care. They're not even aware. There is a mindset out there that is not even aware of what's taking place in the world right now because they're just living it up, doing their own thing. They're in their own little world. They just look and say, oh, it's not that bad. You're just exaggerating and stuff like that. It's like the lady who was checking people's receipts when we left Sam's. I don't know why people are buying all this stuff. We don't get our toilet paper from China. We don't get our paper products from China or whatever. It's made in the U.S. Well, it takes some form of transportation to get those goods to the stores. It does. It's a short-sightedness. Yeah. That's a rather strange statement. Embrace the horror. I'm not going to embrace the horror. I'm not. It's like I heard one person said, you've got to become one with the sin. Embrace the sin. Embrace it. It's like have a symbiotic relationship with Bahura. That's maybe you didn't mean to sound it like that, but it's like reminds me of Elon Musk saying we need to form a symbiotic relationship with AI. That's the only way we're going to make it. In some aspects, this is a symbiotic relationship, holding the cell phone and coming on here and doing a live stream. Have a symbiotic relationship with all the bad that's in the world. Embrace it, engage in it in order to overcome it. No, that could be very far reaching. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. Yeah, rebuke that horror. That's right. You can say, okay, I see that horror out there, but I'm not going to become one with it. I'm going to rise above it within my being. Yeah, facing the darkness. Yeah, you can face it. You can face the darkness. Sometimes that's your only way out. You have to walk through the darkness to get through the light. It's like this short story. There was this, I don't know why they used a spider, but they did. There was a spider in a barn. We read the story, I think, part of it. It was way up there on a high beam, and it had a beautiful view of everything, and it looked down below and thought, I wonder what it's like down there. So it spun a web, and it dropped down there on a beam where it could see all the movements and everything going on that it saw from up there, and it became content. It got fat, and it lived its life out. It was prosperous or something. They used a spider. And then it looked up, and all it saw was darkness, but it saw this line, this web, this thing going straight up. He goes, and they saw the darkness, said, I wonder what's up there. Why is this here? It forgot where it came from. It forgot that it was up there above the darkness, and it was living a life, and it wanted to come down and look and see what was below, and it did, and it became content, and it just, and you know what it did? It cut the line, and its world was no more. Its home that it built on that beam below, it forgot where it came from. It couldn't see anymore. It's like there was a big veil over it. Yeah, good morning. The spider represents WC. What's that mean? I don't know what that means when you say WC. Do we have a Tro in here? Somebody talking about my husband in here? Oh, okay. Something like that. Oh, I didn't get that out of it. I didn't. Yeah, the line is the silver thread. Good morning. You're just tuning in. It's devastation all around, and it's going to get worse. It's your umbilical cord, your infinite umbilical cord. That's Gaia. That's a good way to look at it too. It is. When I had a spiritual dream, it's been years ago. I think maybe back in around 2014 or so. I was on the other side, so to speak, and waiting to be born, truly. And the umbilical cord was attached to me. And I remember this woman on the other end. She was, I don't know, she was clothed in ancient clothing or something, but she had the scissors, and she was getting ready to cut the umbilical cord that I was attached to on the other side. And I said, don't cut that cord. I said, I'm not ready for you to cut that cord. And I was fully myself on the other side, but there was an umbilical cord attached to me. And she said, "Oh, you're ready." I said, "No, I'm not." And she cut it. She cut the umbilical cord from the other side, spiritually speaking, because it was attached to me. And it was during an awakening period in my life. And then I immediately, like, woke up from that dream-like state. And I literally went through a lot of spiritual things in my life that truly did started rearranging my life. The person I used to be, literally was like out with the old and with the new, spiritually speaking. The old parts of me that were no longer needed. Good morning. Just waking up and going to bed. Oh, well, I woke up at 2:33 in the morning. I thought, I know I was tired. I was so tired when I went to bed. I'll go back to sleep sometime today, maybe this morning. Yeah. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, if you've woken up from your sleep, it's devastation all around. It's going to get a whole lot worse. It feels like the United States is under direct attack. But it's not just here. It's happening in all the other countries around the world. Some may not be in the way that it is happening here, but there is a lot of devastation happening in other people's world, in their lives. And just because we don't hear about it and it's not blasted on our news doesn't mean that it's not happening. They're struggling. You know, I saw this headline yesterday, and I took a screenshot of it, and it was written by AI. It's what it was written by, and it was talking about they're trying to start World War II. That's how it was headed. And I thought, why are you writing this? World War II is gone. Don't you mean World War III? And I clicked into it, and it still had World War II. That was on my other laptop downstairs. AI is writing the majority of all the news articles too. Yeah. Well, the smart cities are here. And you may not recognize them. They are. They're here. And I would call them convenient, because you have entire areas, housing areas, to have some older housing, and all of the new housing that's going up around it. And then all the infrastructure. You have all the businesses, the restaurants, the retail stores, the gas stations, the medical centers. They're miniature versions of the hospitals, but they're massive. And they got doctors and nurses there. Everything's within a short distance, like 15 minutes, but it does make it very convenient. If you're in that area, you can walk to the store, and you don't have to, if you have to go to the hospital or urgent care, you don't have to go and sit in an emergency room. You can go to the mini hospital there, which is a whole lot better than the old system. It's like it's a revamping, a reorganizing. I think the way it's in some of the areas, I think it's good that they got the smaller hospital units, urgent care centers, than having to go to a great big hospital. And I think it's good that they have grocery stores that are more centralized around all the housing that's going up. It makes it more convenient. And if the gas prices and things are going to go through the roof, and if travel by vehicle is not going to be so easy, you would want to be able to walk to an area. Yeah. You're finding it harder to think about Christmas. I don't even think about it. I don't. It's and that's going to put a burden on people if they think, well, I've got to go out and I've got to get all these presents and I got to do this, I got to do that. I'm already strained. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even let your mind go there. Have enough going on in your life right now. Yeah, they're not helping us from Florida to the Carolinas. I'm not surprised. Some areas turned down the help, I think even before storms and stuff came, turned down the help ahead of time. Yeah, you got memories for Christmas. Well, that's good. It's a pagan holiday. Well, it may be a pagan holiday and it may be viewed as a pagan holiday by some, but some look beyond the word pagan. Some look at it as a tradition, and some have the right intent inside their heart. It's all about the love of God on the inside. They take that pagan holiday and they turn it around inside their heart because they don't look at everything that's here as it's pagan, it's pagan, it's pagan. No, they don't. I don't. If someone wants to celebrate Christmas, I don't have a problem with it. If I want to celebrate Christmas, I'm going to celebrate it. I'm not going to celebrate it, say it's a pagan holiday, I'm engaging in it. That's not even my mindset. That's not even my heart. When any type of holiday comes around, it's not in my heart. I know it's in my heart. It's the love, it's the kindness, it's the compassion. It's what's inside your heart. And don't let no if you celebrate Christmas, don't let somebody come in here or somebody come into your life. It's all pagan, it's of the devil and stuff. Because if you're doing it with the right intent on the inside of your heart, you're a giving nature, and you look forward to be able to help people. Don't let someone else, don't you try to live out someone else's conviction, and don't let someone tell you, well, it's this and that, and if you do it, you're of the devil, it's pagan. No, we got to get beyond it. We've got to get beyond that kind of stuff. We do. That's like me going outside picking 4-leaf clovers because they appear. That's of the devil. Why is it of the devil? Because you say it's of the devil? No. Some people don't like Halloween. That's of the devil. Well, they got some really gory things for Halloween, and some bad things happen. They do a lot of bad stuff. I mean, if of all the holidays, why is it Christmas that is pinpointed and not Halloween? Truly, if you think about it, you always hear about Christmas is pagan, but I don't think I have ever heard anyone say Halloween is pagan. It's always, the focus is always on Christmas. It doesn't make sense to me when you got Halloween. Does that make sense? It's always directed at that. Yeah. It's just one day. Yeah. No, see, I don't even engage in conversations like that. I know what's in my heart, and I know God knows what's in my heart. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, that's fine. If you want to look down on others for celebrating Christmas, go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. It's just another judgment thing that you're doing. A lot of people judge others based on what they do, the places they go, the things they celebrate. It's like some religions don't celebrate birthdays. Oh, we don't celebrate birthdays, and they look down on others who do. It's just tools of division. It truly is, when we should be coming together. Tools of division, deeply ingrained. Is there truth to them? Perhaps, but only if you want to take on that. There's good and bad in everything. Good and bad in everything. You can't just look at Christmas as being totally bad. No, there's good that comes from it, because the good comes from the heart. Right there. It's like those people who say, well, the Sabbath is Saturday, it's not Sunday. That's a pagan day. Why? If someone wants to go to church on Sunday and you want to go to church on Saturday, what does it matter? Truly, what does it matter? It's like, well, you're not wearing the same type of clothing. You shouldn't be wearing pants, Jeannie. You're going to go to hell. That's clothes pertaining to a man. Well, why do you want to judge? Why do you want to judge my clothing? See, it's all these things that are put out there to divide. We got to move beyond that. You're going to have to start looking at the heart of the individual and not the outward appearance. You're going to have to start looking at the heart and stop judging. We've got to get beyond the judging. It's going to destroy you. It destroys a nation. Oh my gosh, you all. This is that stuff like that. Yeah, I don't even play in it. You enjoy people. You don't celebrate it, but they bring you cookies. That's right. Can people not live their life? You're not going to be standing in judgment. Well, I warned them. I promise you, nobody on here is going to answer to God when they leave this earth for anything I do. I'm going to be responsible for me. I'm going to answer for me. I am. I'm not going to blame what happens to me on this earth and take that victim mentality. I'm not. And blame someone else. I fully am responsible for me. Everything I do, everything I say. I'm responsible for what I say on this live stream. I am. Totally. Every word that comes out of my mouth, I'm responsible for what I say. You're responsible to how you interpret it. You're responsible for twisting my words too. That's what I like to say. That's right. Christian brothers and sisters, and some people I don't even like to be labeled. I don't. I never did like labels because a person could say they were a Christian and they could be a horrible person. And that keeps people out of church. It keeps people, if God is like that, I don't want nothing to do with God. Truly. There's a lot of devastation going around. And there's a whole lot of lack of love and compassion going around too. But when you are losing everything, you may have been that type of person who maybe went around and looked down on others and never would give anybody else a helping hand. You may find yourself in that position one day needing a helping hand. And you may find yourself looking up and grabbing that hand that's reaching down to you to help you. The tables may be reversed one day. Instead of you looking down on somebody else, you may have to look up and reach up and accept that helping hand from that individual or that you never wanted to. You may. I'm just telling you, you may have to do that one day or die in your pride. Some people will die in their pride before they will accept help from others of a certain religion, a certain faith, a certain whatever. They would rather die in their pride. Even though the help may be completely genuine, they have a stumbling block. They cannot move beyond the pride, self-imposed pride on the inside of their being. Yeah. Oh, many people will die in their pride. And there's a lot of people who shun a lot of other people too. And I hate to say it, but it's based on religion. It's based on religion because they don't believe the same type of doctrine that they believe. They will look down on them. Forget about God, even though God is bigger than any religion. God is a spiritual but they can't see beyond it. It's like a big block wall. There's a barrier. You can't see God because of your religion. You can't see the God in others. You can't see the love in others because your religion has literally put a big block wall. You can't see through it. And when you look at others, all you'll see is the big label that you slap on them. You've already labeled them. You won't be able to see God beyond the label. And that is the truth. You will not be able to see God beyond the label. You will not even be able to look. But then that's your own doing. And that's what's been ingrained in the minds of people. You've got to get rid of the labels. You've got to look beyond. You have to. Unless you don't want to, then don't do it. Continue to have those labels, those walls put up. Yeah. Robert, honey, thank you. No, you can't sit in church and hate others. I say some because some is not all. There's a lot of people who are able to look beyond the labels and straight into the heart. And there's some who will see in others what they want to see. If all they want to see in others is that whatever they're perceiving and it's bad, there's nothing you're going to be able to do to change their mind. They've already made their mind up that person's bad. And there really is no grounds for it except their own perception. Yeah. The strike is going to last 5.5 months. You might want to prepare. Time is running out. It will only take around 2 to 3 weeks for them to run out of supplies. Is what they said. It's 2 to 3 weeks. It's devastating. Yeah, religions fight over God. It's true. It's true. It is. But it truly is. God is everywhere. God has many names. God means many things to many people. It's within. Truly is. It's always been within. That's spiritual. That's the kingdom inside you. Your heart is a portal. It's a home. It's your place of spiritual worship. It's the place where you connect with others. It comes from your heart. It is a spiritual connection. It is a spiritual frequency. And some people may not view it that way. You cannot expect others to have the same insight on life as you do either. I don't expect other people to. I know that some people don't. I know some people do. You may have went your whole life and felt, I felt like I never felt in. I never felt like I fit in. And you may looked and looked and looked and never found anybody that was like you. And then finally you say, well, I found people who are like-minded like me now. I found my tribe. You may search all your life. I found people who actually feel the way that I feel. Yeah. The love went out the window in 2020, but not for all. Yeah, for some. John, honey, why you keep putting verses on here? You're just saying Romans 12:2, and there's no words behind it. It's just, I'm going to tell you right now, I personally don't know what's at any of those chapters. I don't. And I would say the majority of the people in here don't know what's included in the chapter and the verse that you're putting on here. And I don't see any reason to just do that. Unless you want people to go back in the live stream and look at what you've referenced, instead of just using your own words to. Why can't we just use our own words from our heart to speak? Why can't we? Yeah, to give someone something to search. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah. A lot of people find it really hard to speak from their heart, because when you speak from your heart, you open yourself up and you become vulnerable. You become a target for others to attack. But we've been taught you don't speak from your heart. Nobody wants to, because you open yourself up. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. People don't want to talk about how they feel because they don't want to get criticized. They don't want people, because it hurts their feelings. You say, well, it's just feelings. No, that's a part of me. My feelings come from inside here. They're part of me, and they're very important to me. It's like you're the people who have the sixth sense. You can sense something. You can feel something. It's all part of the human experience. Your feelings are. It's not nice to make light of people's feelings and to dismiss their feelings when they're telling you how they feel. Now, okay, my this side of my nose is tickling. That's good. But some people will say, yeah, my feelings are important, Gina. I hate you. You're a liar. You're whatever. You're this and that. No, you're coming from a place of hate. It's not a place of love, and you're using your feelings that you have. You're just expressing hate, hateful things. There's no love in it. If it doesn't build up, why do you need to say it? Truly, you can get your message across. If you got something you want to get out, you can say it in a loving way and get your message out. And I guarantee you, it's going to be received much better than harsh words. When you have a harsh overtone, when you have a hateful tone, and you're telling people something and you want them to listen, they're not going to listen, because the frequency that is associated with your words, it's sorry, it's going to fall on deaf ears, because you're not speaking it in the right way. Yeah, people want to go back to simpler times, Zeke. They do. When things weren't so complicated. And you may get your wish. A lot of people's getting their wish right now. And they're just trying to make, I mean, it's not nice, but it's a simpler time, because you're getting back to the basics. What's at the core of your being, you're getting back to what's at the core, and it's like you're a helpful person, you're a nurturing person, you're going to be there for others. You have a caring spirit, you have a loving spirit. It brings out the that part of you that you keep on the inside that people don't know about. The little mushy part of you, that soft-spoken part of you, that loving part of you. Yeah. Ah, my nose is tickling again. Ah, all of a sudden. That's a good sign from, yeah, a good spiritual sign. See, look at this. We got somebody in here wanting to troll. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, they gave it to us. We thought it was a gift. But now they are using it against us. There's good and bad in everything, and it's how you use it. But there are strings attached with a lot of things that we're given on this earth. And seems like there's a price to pay. Some of the price to pay may be very terrible, more terrible than other. Everything is flipped. We could be in a parallel world where the negative and the positive are clashing. We are. That's how it was explained in the Star Trek. I saw it at my mom's. I caught a part of the show. They came in contact with the parallel world, and the positive world and the negative world were beginning to clash. They were literally right there, a butt up against each other. And if something didn't happen, both worlds would get destroyed. So then they were represented by a Lazarus, an entity named Lazarus. One was a good Lazarus and one was a bad Lazarus. And the two Lazarus had to be, the one Lazarus from the negative world had to be pushed into this spacecraft of the positive Nazareth, and the time, the wormhole or whatever, something was closed so that both worlds could coexist beside one another. It was like the personification of good and evil, the personification of Jesus and the devil. That's what I got out of it. Stardust. Yeah, good and bad, evil and light. You would not have known the darkness if you hadn't known the light. You would not have seen the light if you never came out of the darkness. It's like that song, Out of the Darkness. Who sings that? All at once I came alive. Out of the darkness. Out of the darkness song. I like inspirational songs. I do. Uplifting songs. I don't like to listen to all the negative songs. I don't. The darkness. Oh, Still Rolling Stones. That song. Still Rolling Stones. Bobby, you speak from your heart and your truth, your open book. Some people have an open book on the inside of them that you don't want to hear out of, read out of. They really do. Maybe too much for others. No, I don't know. The controllers keep the power to divide and invert. Yes, even our words. It's true, Thothosterian. Good and bad, light and darkness. It's true. I acknowledge that the darkness is always out there. And the darkness has to acknowledge that the light is always out there. It's not going anywhere either. And, but it's when the light and the darkness, they can neutralize one another. And that's when the scales are like balanced. When they neutralize, it makes everything neutral. That way the darkness, the scales aren't like this. With the darkness and or the light, when they clash, the thing is, you want to neutralize it, make it balance everything again. Darkness does flee when it sees the light, even though it may at times try to literally put out the light. It does put out people's light at times. I'm not going to say the darkness does not put out people's light, because it does overtake them and it puts out their light. And the people who have the light in them, if they only realize that the darkness can't put out their light if they let their light shine brighter. They raise their vibration, they raise the love on the inside. The darkness can't put their light out. Even though their physical body may be gone from the earth, it didn't put their light out, spiritually speaking. Yeah. You wish to heal the darkness and not banish it or hate it. I like your statement. I do. Thoth Asterian. You wish to heal the darkness, but it doesn't know it needs healed. It may not want healed. It'd be better off if it was, but then where would we be? I haven't heard anything about the October 9th and the Four Horsemen. I'm curious what this is about. I don't know. You're going to see all kinds of biblical things being put out there from all different types of mouthpieces, platforms, based on people's interpretation and their own interpretation, their own perception, their own intuition. And that's what they are, somebody else's, and they're just repeating it. I know nothing about it. I'm not aware of something happening in 27, but next year there's supposed to be a catastrophic mutating event. And that will be next year. That's what they said was coming, the World Economic Forum. And in 2029, the asteroid Apophis, the god of destruction, asteroid number 99942, April the 13th of 2029, is set to come to the Earth. They say it may not strike it, but it's coming. And in 2029, the 3D, the digital replica of Earth will be up and running. And in 2029, AI is supposed to be conscious of a conscious entity. And in 2029, that's when they want to bring the rest of the humans online through the 6G. Yeah. Man will still be alive. Oh, 2525, Mr. Code. Yeah. Oh, Hillary, about the October surprise. There's no telling in politics. You got to be prepared for anything and everything. And some things you can't prepare for because you're going to see a whole lot of stuff. And that's easy for someone to come to that conclusion too. You're going to see a whole lot of stuff because everything is gone crazy. Everything's wild. Everything's happening. Devastation, natural disasters. You may see the stock market crash. You may see some type of conventional weapon launched at the United States. You may see countries erupt into World War III. You may see an alien invasion. It could be anything. I wouldn't put anything past the powers that are running the world. We wouldn't. Yeah, see, don't troll on here. Yeah. Don't troll on here. Oh, the simulation, yeah, that we moved into. They do want to, they are actively working on the 3D digital Earth's digital twin. It is going to be up and going right now. They're already implementing it, and they'll have it in full implementation by 2029, maybe even sooner. Maybe even sooner. You've been hearing it, y'all? It's, oh my gosh, I've been on here for 75 minutes. I am going to end the video. Thank you for coming on. It's in the wee hours of the morning. It's 4:30 in augmented reality. Yes, it's coming. Yeah, good morning. So, it's devastation out there. A lot of people's lives have been devastated and destroyed, but they are coming together as one. They're realizing when you've lost everything, all you have is each other, and then you come together. You forget your differences. You forget your religion. There is no barriers. There are no barriers at that point for the majority of the people. There's no barriers. The barriers are completely removed, and they come together as one, and they help each other, which they should be, but it's sad that it takes devastation like that to bring people together. It's like a funeral. You don't see people, and then all of a sudden everybody shows up at the funeral. People you ain't seen in years. It's a tragedy that brings people together. But with all that's going on, yeah, people are coming together, and that's good. But it's sad that it takes something like that for us to realize that we need each other. We do. Yeah. It's breaking away from the old constraints. Yeah. It's a great awakening. I don't know nothing about a 9.0 we're supposed to get. Never. I don't even know what that refers to. Blessings. I'm going to go. You all, thank you, Carol, honey. Thank you all for your comments. I don't normally do videos like this, except like times like this, I guess. Yeah. I hope you all have a good day too. Gracious Heavenly Father, may you be with each and every one here, and may you strengthen all those who need strengthened. May you be with everybody whose lives have been touched in a way that's not too pleasant, and may you help give them strength, and may you fill the hearts of people with your love and give them peace, and just be with all of us, and just give us all the strength and wisdom and guidance to go forward. In the name of precious Jesus, amen. You can accept that prayer or you can reject that prayer, but it came from my heart. Yeah, that's right. Have a wonderful rest of your day. It's 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. Love you. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, you all.